Hey everybody, it's Kenny K here, and I wanted to give you 10 great horror movies from different eras, 70s, 80s, uh, 2000s, 90s, and etc. So the first one, I'm just going to pick this one because this one was above the pack. Hatchet. The first one is fairly good. It's a horror comedy with this killer, um, this backwoods killer who's played by Kane Hodder. He plays the what's it in the? It plays in not the Mississippi, Baton Rouge. In any case, on the like Mississippi like rivers, and this killer is roaming around there. And it's fun. He's the 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 gore is practical. The characters are funny. Um, Tony Todd is in this one. In this one, briefly. In the second one, he's a lot more present because he's basically uh, gathering a posse to catch Victor Crowley. That's the killer's name, Victor Crowley. And like I said, Kane Harrods plays him. And I mean, it's more like don't think too much about anything. Just enjoy the movie, and it's gore. And Victor Crowley, this messed up, bulky little dude that just goes after you with an axe. I liked it, and I think it's one of those movies that could have been better or just left it alone. Maybe the sequel was interesting because he had this posse led by Tony Todd, which I like. But going farther than that, I heard that the third one and I think the fourth one is extremely bad. But this one is pretty good. So, Hatchet, first one. Second one. This is a movie with some controversy. The director being a convicted pedophile, but made a great movie. Here, Jeepers Creepers. I think one of my favorite movies from back in the 2000s. He created this movie that, I mean, a thing is hunting you, and basically you can't do shit about it. He's gonna keep coming back, even when you ran him over like 10 times into pulp. He will he will just kind of uh, put him back together, and eventually when he kills somebody, he will be the more he kills, the more he gets back to his physical form. But after, like I said, the completely smushing him with the car, he's kind of handicapped. He's falling apart. But then he kills somebody, and it's great. And he comes again, and he goes after the the main two people played by Justin Long, um, and then Vic, sorry, Gina Phillips. These are brother and sister, and he's interested in one of the two because they have something, and I mean a body part that they want. So he'll never stop. And if you hear the song, Jeepers Creepers, where'd you get those peepers? If you hear that song, you're fucked. You're gonna die. Or at least he's in the neighborhood, and if you don't escape, but escape is almost impossible because this fucker can fly, and he has a jacked up van that he just he can he I think he can go 200 miles with that thing. Uh, it's a very creepy and very interesting villain. You know, the creeper, and the sequels are meh. The second one is okay. The third one is really bad. But setting aside, of course, what the director did, he did make a great horror movie by making Jeepers Creepers. So we'll go on for the next one, which is a very disturbing Italian giallo movie, The New York Ripper. And the the killer, there's a serial killer loose in New York, and he's basically mostly targeting women, and you see him like it's typical giallo style of murdering. You see him using like this little, you know, razor blade and cutting off the nipple and shit like that when he's torturing these women. And the killer, when he calls to the police to mock them, I think he uses this Donald Daffy Duck voice, like, I'm gonna kill again. I think it's like it makes it, but it does make it doesn't really compute, but it's a fun touch. But if you go to the killings, it ain't so fun because the killings are really explicit. Like I said, here he has the razor, you know, using razor blades to torture these women and eventually kill them with a knife. Very good movie. It's a horror movie slash direct slash detective movie, you know. Uh, but Gilos usually are well thought of, and this one is made by, let's see, oh, Lucio Fucci, who also gave us Zombie or Zombie 2, which is a really great zombie movie. So, The New York Ripper, great, great slasher. Little bit of sadistic kills, but great story, and you never see the killer coming, in my opinion. The next one is also a slasher, one of my favorite ones, at least in the top 10. He's actually my, let's say, my sixth favorite one is The Burning. Now, this is not the best DVD cover, but you know, gather around the campfire to die. Yeah, it's Cropsey here is a he was a kind of janitor or something. He was working the grounds of this camp called Camp Blackfoot, and he's being a menace to all the children. And eventually, the older kids want to pull a prank on him, but the prank goes wrong, and eventually, one thing leads to another, and he's on fire and yelling, "I will come again. I will get my vengeance," and then he jumps in the water, burned to a degree that if you see him in the end of the movie, you're like, "What the fuck is that?" But it's cool because the prosthetic it's like a melted candle, but he still can talk with his. I mean, he can still yell and kind of talk. No, no, not really, because everything was burned and he was really burned bad. But he can like open his mouth is like half open, and he can yell like that. But he looks like a melted candle face. But it's a great movie. Got I think a few famous names. It's connected to Harvey Weinstein, and there's a lot of sexual masculinity in there that really is pushy to the point that it's almost sexual assault or even maybe rape. And I think Harvey Weinstein had something to do with that, but don't let this fool you because this movie is great. Tom Savini does the special effects, that's already a plus. Because the kills here, there's a really famous one called the Raft Kill, where he basically kills like 6 people at once with his hedge clippers, and it's pretty cool. Um, but you got was it Fisher Stevens or what was his name? The one from Weinstein. The what's his name? Bob and Harvey Weinstein. Yeah, but wasn't that Fisher Stevens? I cannot find his name here, but he's the guy from Seinfeld. Um, One of the characters from Seinfeld. But in any case, great slasher movie. Good tension at at moments, a good build up, and then eventually you get to that raft kill. Before that, he kills somebody else, but that raft kill is just amazing. Now we go to probably my fourth or fifth favorite slasher movie. I think my fourth favorite is My Bloody Valentine. This one is a special edition, so I can watch it with with the deleted footage or separately. I highly recommend seeing this with the deleted footage because deleted footage is basically like 11 minutes of gore. You know, if you see the cut version, and it took us a long time to get this uncut version. I think it was released somewhere in the beginning to 2000, movie from 1981, I guess. He, they re- released it fairly late. The only thing is it's a little bit choppy, so when the kills happen, the screen goes a little bit grayish, maybe, you know. Um, but it's certainly visible, so you can see what happens. The kill, for example, I mean, they took out a kill that lasted at least 5 minutes, where he's stunting a girl and then takes her up, picks her up, and you can see from the better screen to the cut it, the censored screen, so you can see when things were cut. And I have to tell you, all the kills basically were cut, and he just pile drives her head into a shower nozzle, and she's bleeding out of her mouth, and then puts it on, so this red stream is coming out. It's just great. My Bloody Valentine, also the killer. I mean, I'm a big fan of this movie. I mean, look at that. Here I've got the NECA figure. You know, I'll open it. The NECA figurine. It's so great, and I also got the colored version of the miner and the signed picture of who plays the miner. Great stuff. Great stuff. Great stuff. Um, Watch it. Guarantee you. Give it a 9 out of 10, at least. Scream 4. Well, the first one is obviously the best one, but this one actually is my second favorite. And it kind of takes you back to Woodsboro. It's sort of a rehash, but with a little bit more gore and some ingenuity and modern cameras. Put on the killer is basically filming his skills. In this case, the two killers, and I gotta say the one of the two I did not guess that was the killer, but this one, in my opinion, you know, is doing a good job. Dewey's now sheriff, uh, but the thing is, the only moment Dewey is actually great is in Scream 5, where he kills or almost kills a killer because everybody has a flak jacket on. He goes there and then he starts to wrestle him. It's the only moment Dewey is actually not a doofus. But here, as sheriff, he's completely unqualified to be a sheriff. But in any case, it's funny how he and his you've got this Hitchcock, I think, is his second in command deputy. This blonde girl who has, she's kind of infatuated, and like, he's the boss. But then Courtney Cox comes in, and she Gail, and she becomes. There's this trifecta war between the sheriff, Dewey, Hitchcock, Deputy Hitchcock, and then of course Gail. But she will prove herself worthy. Also, you've got was it Hannah Panettiere, yeah, who plays Kirby. She's great. She's basically the sexy version of Randy. And it's fun that they brought her back, but she looks so so different. It's like a wrong Botox job. But Scream 4 is my second favorite one, and still on today. And I'm still looking for my third favorite one because there isn't. I hope part 7. If they bring back Stu Macher as a killer, 7 will be my third favorite one. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre from Tobe Hooper, the movie that Steven Spielberg adores. And that's the reason why Tobe Hooper and Spielberg became good friends, that he asked Tobe Hooper to direct Poltergeist, but with notes of Spielberg what he has to do. So kind of a co-director, a second director, to keep every because that wasn't made by Hooper. If you see what Hooper made, like this Funhouse, the Toolbox Murders. I mean, no, it's not his style, but this one, Leatherface, is an iconic slasher villain who they has been in now how many sequels? I lost count. I mean, the second one, which I never seen before, but supposed to be fun, not creepy, but more horror comedy fun. Um, the third one is not that good. It's with our black lead of Dawn of the Dead. Um, can't come to his name yet, but he's the one who says when there's no more room in hell, the dead will walk the earth. He's in the third part, and in the fourth part is the Next Generation, I believe. That's with Matthew McConaughey. Then you've got the multiple prequels and sequels 10 years later. You got a remake, you got a good remake, by the way, a good remake. We also have this prequel, the beginning remake, which isn't good. But stay with this. This one is really good, and based on the facts of a true story. They mean Ed Gein. Ed Gein was a grave digger, and he made his furniture. He made from the skin of the people he buried. He made his furniture, and eventually he killed 2 women, and one was actually found like cattle, you know, put like this or completely open, and then um, her legs open and completely cut open. So he was fucked up, but I think he killed like two people, and then, like I said, grave dig. And there is some kind of similarity in this movie because, like you see, Leatherface wears a human mask. He wears different. He has a collection of victims that he made masks of. This one is the scariest to me. Great movie, disturbing movie, and if you see this movie, you're gonna want to take a shower. And other one is The Howling from Joe Dante. Now this movie, personally, I think Dee Wallace is in this movie. This movie is probably my second favorite. You got Silver Bullet, you got Dog Soldier, and you got The Howling. And I gotta place it somewhere, so I'm thinking in the middle. You got a little bit more wolf action than Silver Bullet, but Silver Bullet is really acted well, and it all comes down to the end, and then Dog Soldier is just, I mean, great. This military unit versus a bunch of these werewolves, and they don't know that they're in their house, so they're attacking them from all sides, and they have to use their military training to keep them out. I mean, Dark Soldiers is a great British uh, werewolf movie, but this one had great transformations done by Rob Bottin, by the way, and Joe Dante wanted the guy from An American Werewolf in Paris that I enjoy, but is overrated in my opinion. The only cool thing is, I think they got an Oscar for that, was the transformation. The way it happens when he's saying it's burning out of nowhere. That's pretty creepy and this settling. But this one, um, going to a retreat, which is basically a retreat of werewolves, and they don't know. It's pretty creepy too. It's pretty creepy too. Then we're going to the ninth one, and then we're almost at 10. Stage Fright, or Aquarius. That's another different name. This is basically an Italian slasher movie, but really great. The killer wears this giant, you can see the owl head, giant owl's mask. You never seen that before in a slasher. I mean, like this big is the mask. Very uncomfortable. I mean, but he kills in multiple ways, like slashing the director's arms off, and then going through him with a chainsaw, and then like drilling through somebody's neck. I mean, he's pretty gnarly with his kills, and the thing is, the acting isn't bad. I really, for a slasher movie, the acting isn't bad, especially for this, this movie that you see that's a lot of. I think no one really. I think they were all Italians or German, but it's a pretty good movie. You have some stupid cops outside, and they get on your nerves at some point because they're guarding everything, but because of a storm, they can't hear the people knocking on the doors. And the reason why they can't get out is because the first victim that the killer kills was giving the order by the director to hide the keys so they can just get the fuck away. Now, of course, when she dies, the the disappearance of the key is being created. So, but very good slasher movie, recommended 100%, with a very unique killer and not bad acting and great kills, practical effect kills. Our last one, but not least, Maniac Cop with Bruce Campbell and fuck, Bruce Campbell and oh my god, I can't remember his name. Now you can slap. He's in Halloween 3. He's in in the fog. Um, I have a lately I have a bad time remembering fucking actors. I really do. I could name every fucking actor there was, but directed by William Lustig. Maniac Cop is a great movie about this cop who basically wants revenge because he was committed for a crime that he did not do, put in jail, eventually killed in jail because he's a cop, and maimed. They thought he was dead, but he came back from the dead. So it's like a Jason Voorhees but with a cop suit on. And I think they made like 3, 4 sequels of this. Now I know the actor's name, Tom Atkins. Sorry, so it's just Tom Atkins and Bruce Campbell. Tom Atkins is great in this. Bruce Campbell is sort of a sleazeback in this, but okay, it's Bruce Campbell. He can be a sleazeback. No, great gore, great action also, action scenes. And I heard that the second one is even better, where the maniac cop just goes to a police station and kills every cop that he comes across. Like the first Terminator goes into a police station and just blows every cop away, like 30 cops. The sequel has sort of the same scene. So Maniac Cop, pretty good movie. I recommend it for sure. With a unique killer, which spawned a lot of sequels. Like I said, the second one is also good. Better even, they say even better than that one. So that's about it. I hope you have a little bit more inspiration now. I'll do a 10 best movies on Netflix now, so you have some ideas what you can see, what I liked, and maybe you will like. But that's about it with my. These are just movies that I took out of my DVD collection. Most of them I saw, but I did took the ones out that I really like. So the movies that I gave you were my personal liked movies. So everybody's interest is different, but maybe because I like him, maybe you'll like him too. Because I'm a slasher fan, and if you notice, most of them are slashers, but you got the Howling in there. So hope you enjoyed the video. See you later. Signing out.